So it's 1976 and I'm on a cruise, a Mediterranean cruise of the SS Uganda, paid for by some charitable organisation. I think it was the bus, because I was an underprivileged child. And we came for one of the stops to Istanbul, a pack of bored children with absolutely no interest in mosques and towers. And we did the Sophia Mosque, Blue Mosque, Topkapi Palace and the Galata Tower that we went to yesterday. And we did a walk along the harbour, pretty much what we did yesterday minus the alcohol. And as we were walking along the harbour, it was lined with old men and the odd lady. And two things stuck in my head from my visit here in 1976 when I was 14. The first was these old men, beggars. And I say old men, men age very early here. So I'm going from probably about 40 to 80. And the guide told us that these gentlemen had hacked off their own legs with a saw to put them above the beggar next to them that had two legs. And then Mr. whatever he's called, Mr. Beggar, number 23 along the line, looks at all these men with no legs and he thinks, I'm cleverer than that, I've got a wife. So he chops his wife's legs off. This is true story. Chops his wife's legs off with a saw because people will have more pity for a lady than all the men. So then we've got a run of women sitting there with the stumps out. And this is what these people had to do back then to live. You know, imagine the courage and the desperation to take a saw to your legs. Apparently many people died from infection and what have you afterwards. So that was the first thing that stuck with me. The second thing was the streets. We weren't allowed to touch the dogs. Do not touch the stray dogs, the millions of street dogs. And we weren't allowed to touch them, stroke them, we had to just ignore them. And half of them were diseased. Some of them had no fur because they had so many fleas, and they were anemic because the fleas had taken all the blood, and they had runny eyes and yellow eyes. Rabies was rife in 1976, so no doubt some of them were rabid. And when they died, they just died in the street. And we walked past, I remember vividly walking past a dead dog in the street and being so traumatised by it, and they just left them there. They didn't clean them up, they were just left to rot in the street. That was 1976. Things are very different now. We saw one dog that may or may not have been a street dog because he had a collar. Oh, and he was a sad old boy. He was so sad. He stood there with his sad eyes and his sad head, and he just looked so forlorn. He was a really old man, and that upset me because he was just so sad. His point of being was sad, and I think it was maybe his ploy to get food off people. Hey missus, don't try and cheer me up. I've perfected this look over years, you know. This is my point of sale. But the way they look after the cats is unbelievable. People don't own cats. I must have stroked 100 street cats yesterday. Mark said, did you wash your hands? I said, of course I washed my hands. And you see these little cities set up for them where there'll be like a column of 20 beds and half a dozen food and water dishes. And then you see them singly outside the houses, the apartment blocks. You'll see a little bowl of food and water. Now the downside to that, we never experienced it, we never saw it, it didn't happen to us, but the downside of that is that pigeons love cat food, and apparently, not pigeons, seagulls, and apparently they have some very large seagulls in Istanbul. What goes in has to come out. Do the maths. You're walking and they dive on you, all over you. We didn't have it, we were lucky, but apparently the seagulls are very well fed as well. Anyway, Mark's hovering, we're going for breakfast, I'm going to have a little bowl of soup. They do soup for breakfast, go figure. I'm going to have a little bowl of soup, set me up for the day, and we're going to the dentist at 9:50. They told us this afternoon. I thought we had all day till mid-afternoon to relax and get our heads around things. No, they're coming for us at 9:50. So we're up, we're showered, we're dressed, we're ready. We're going for a bit of breakfast. Mark will set himself up with a good breakfast this morning. I'm just going to have a little bowl of soup and let the horror begin. Nice chat.